Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. Technology is an amazing thing. This week, we're going to plug some in to your home.
Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford, the voice of home improvement, with projects, tips, and ideas to help you improve your home.
Technology has had an enormous effect on the way we live, and that's especially true in the home. I mean, think about it. When I was a kid, there were no home computers, let alone laptops, so when I had a paper to do for school, I headed to the library, not the coffee shop. There were no DVRs or VCRs, so if I had a program that I wanted to see on television, I had to watch it when it aired. Well, this week, we're going to look at a number of processes, systems, and products that are designed to automate the home, which can make it more comfortable, more attractive, and a lot more efficient. And along the way, we're going to look at some really cool stuff that's just plain fun. Stay with us. When you think about home automation system, there's a lot of different ways to approach it, from the very simple to very extensive type of systems. And I found something that we're about to install in this kitchen that I just love. It's called a video door answering system. And basically, you have a unit that mounts under a kitchen cabinet like this. Then you have this unit that mounts right by your front door. So when you have a visitor, they ring the doorbell, you're alerted inside, and because it has a camera built in, you can come over to this, tilt down the screen, and you can see exactly who's at your front door. And you can even talk back and forth to them. That's really convenient. And think of the security on that. Also, we have a built-in telephone. We have TV, and you can listen to your favorite AM, FM radio station. Now, this is very simple because all you have to do is plug it in, run a wire to your front door, plug in the telephone. That's basically it. But to look at a very extensive home automation system, we dropped in and visited with a friend of mine, Blake Yoakum, who designs this type of system. Now, Blake, this is definitely a high-end place here.
Not your typical residence, but really a great place to showcase the automation systems that we have in here.
Okay, all right, and I guess one of the main parts of it are the control panels, and is this the main one?
This is when you walk in the front door, we've got the touchscreen from here, and from here you can control the motorized blinds, the lighting, the HVAC, the security, the audio-video system, and the water wall and water ball.
Now, what about learning curve on this? I think immediately you think about, boy, it'll take forever to figure out how to use this thing.
You know, if you think of it as from this one location, I can use it to control my security, and now it's turned into my security keypad, or I can control the HVAC system, the heating and air conditioning system, and I can control the 3 zones in this unit. Or if I'm going to control my lighting system, I can go to the lighting and I can go right to the dining room and control the lights in the dining room, or turn all the lights on and all the lights off, which is very convenient. If you're thinking of it as different stations like that, same with the motorized blinds. I can go in here and we can control which blinds are open and closed to the house. And a lot of this automated system is set on a timed event, so you can have blinds opening and closing at different times. Same with the lighting control of the house too. And
well, I can see where that could save a little energy with closing the blinds in the afternoon when the sun's bearing down in the house.
It does that, and you're protecting artwork and furniture that way too. So
right. And I guess by having the central pad, you're really kind of decluttering the walls of your home.
The interior decorators love that, because what we're doing is we're eliminating the need for a keypad for security and a keypad for lighting and a keypad for the audio video, and you'd have a wall full of stations, and I'm condensing it all into one convenient touchscreen.
Oh, that's great. Now, what about controlling anything in the home from, say, another location? I hear that's another advantage of home automation.
People really like that. They want to be able to call the house and actually trigger the HVAC system to be set to a comfortable level when they arrive, if this is a vacation home. So if they're 3-4 hours out, they can call up the house and activate it, and off they go.
Well, that's great. Now, one thing I really like is when you have speakers throughout the home and you're able to control that, but where are all your components set up in this home?
We've got them set in the closet right over here.
All right, okay.
Danny, here's the closet where we keep all the components that run the entire house. We've got the CD player, DVD player, AM/FM tuner, as well as the processor that runs the automation system.
Man, you can sure feel the heat coming out of that closet.
Yeah, we've got cooling fans in here, as well as we've ventilated the door, and that's something you really got to be careful for, is you've got to ventilate your electronics. It's a big deal.
I guess if the homeowners bought a new CD or DVD, they would need to get in here, but otherwise, no real reason to actually access the closet.
Not at all, not at all.
Now, if they were sitting on the couch and they needed to turn the music up a little bit, change a CD or whatever, do they have to come to one of the keypads?
No, they don't. We've got wireless touchscreens, and from the wireless touchscreens, you can access all the subsystems of the house. So from here, I could, enjoy watching TV, change the channel on the TV, but I could also work the motorized blinds, control the lighting, control the HVAC, or even security system of the house.
Oh, that's great. Now that's wireless, of course, the control, but I know this is a wired system. This was new construction, so you had the walls open, made it a lot easier to run all those miles of wire, I guess.
A lot easier. We can retrofit a job, but we prefer to do new construction, sure.
Okay. Well, without a doubt, this was a very extensive job. What about a more basic system? What are you looking at in terms of cost on that?
For a couple $1,000s, you can get an automation system and do some basic things, and a lot of people can afford to do that. This system was much more elaborate. We were controlling a lot of subsystems, and there was a lot of touch screens involved, so that's what really pushed the cost of the system up.
I can see. Well, a couple $1,000s is a lot more in reach for a lot of homeowners.
Sure.
And when you think about the convenience, the possible energy savings, and just pure old fun, that's not bad at all. But Blake, this is a fantastic place.
It's time for this week's Simple Solution from home repair expert Joe Truini.
If you tackle your own home improvement and remodeling projects, chances are you're going to be creating some dust at some point. Today I'm sanding some wood with a belt sander. Now these tools typically have a dust collection bag of some sort, but even the very best tools don't collect 100% of the dust. So to capture that excess dust and prevent it from blowing all over the workshop, I've created a simple filtration device. This is a 20-inch square window fan, and to the backside I've attached a furnace filter. Now it's important to choose a furnace filter that covers the entire fan so you capture all of the dust. A little duct tape holds it in place, and as you can see, it captures quite a bit of dust. This is just from a few minutes of sanding. Now this technique is also great for when you're sawing or routing or any job like that that creates dust. And when you're done, you can just untape it, bring the filter outside, gently tap it off to remove the dust, then bring it back in and save it for your next project.
This week we're looking at a number of systems to make your home a little more automated. Now those systems can be as extensive as the one Blake showed us earlier, or as simple as something I discovered a few years ago. This little device is called a Hinge switch, and it's very much like the door on your refrigerator. You open the door, the light comes on, you close the door, and the light goes off. Now just think about how convenient that would be. Say in a laundry room when you're carrying that heavy basket of clothes into the laundry room, the light comes on and you never have to worry about leaving the light on when you leave that room or a closet. Now this type of device, as well as the system we looked at earlier, does require wiring to be routed inside the walls before the drywall is installed. But there is a system out there that's completely wireless that can control all of the lighting in your home. And recently, Bill Hambley with the Central Light Companies showed us a home that had one of these systems. So Bill, tell me, what are some of the real advantages of having an automated lighting system in your home?
Danny, we like to talk about making the case for lighting control, and that case is comfort and convenience, aesthetics and ambience in the home, safety and security, and then energy savings and energy management.
Boy, that's pretty important these days. Try to
really
save
is.
money on your energy bill any way at all. And I guess if you can adequately control the lighting, that's a big energy user in the home.
It really is. You really have an energy management function in the house. When you hit good night at night, A, it's real convenient, don't have to worry about the kids upstairs, but B, I know that house is off and things haven't been left on.
Well, now I know that you installed the system in this home after it was already built for a number of years, and I know you used a wireless system, and boy, I bet that made the homeowner pretty happy not having to tear out a bunch of walls.
Oh, it was the only really practical way to get a lighting control system in the home. Otherwise, we would be ripping through the walls and getting new wire in. But this way, we just replaced a switch in the wall with a new dimmer. And once we got all the dimmers installed, they start talking to a central controller, and there we have it.
Now, so all these different devices talking to a center control. What does that center control look like?
It's really very simple. It's like the look of a wireless router in the house. Here, we're going to take a look.
All right, great.
Danny, it's just right over here. This is a fairly new installation, so the homeowner's still playing with it a little bit, figuring out what he wants it to do and where it's going to be located. But that controller can be located up above a piece of furniture, maybe even inside an armoire somewhere. So it doesn't have to be out in the open, but while you're playing with it and getting things set up, obviously you want to have it accessible.
But now this is enough to send all these signals all over a home.
Oh yeah, and the best location is obviously in the center of the house, the nearest to the center point, because then it's going to send the radio signals out to every one of the devices that we've installed in the house, and then there's your whole centrally controlled system. But inside that controller is a clock, is the ability to create 100 scenes, and when I say scenes, like evening scenes and entertainment scenes and dining and landscape and so forth, and also the clock where I can have things turned on by dusk and dawn or exact time of the day, and I don't even have to turn on my landscape lights, for instance.
Oh boy, that is pretty convenient. Now, so this is sending a signal out, and if you have a standard, say a single pole switch or a dimmer or whatever,
Right.
you simply take that out, and the controller that you provide goes in that, and it receives the signal from
That's
it.
right. There's a radio transceiver built into every one of the dimmers. And so once you do your simple installation and you provide power back to it, make sure you turn it off before you do that.
All right.
Then they start talking to the central controller and you do some simple programming.
Okay, well, you've told me all these things and what it can do. Show me how it works.
Great.
Now, this is a pretty impressive room and a lot of lights that have to be controlled.
It really is, Danny. It's a great example of lighting control and what it can do for you. For example, right here, this was a double gang switch just with single pole switches on them. And now we've replaced it with a dimmer, a 3-button dimmer and a 1-button dimmer. The neat thing here is now you can label the buttons to exactly what you want them to control. For instance, here's the fireplace light that's turning on and off the light in front of the fireplace.
I see.
The homeowners create a pathway here to light a path at nighttime from the living area back to the bedroom. So it really makes it convenient for them to get there, and then it can turn it off on the other side.
Oh, that's convenient.
And they've created a living scene that actually turns on the lights exactly the way she wants to entertain guests here when they have folks over.
I see.
There's an art light that highlights or accents the art in this room.
I've never seen an art switch before. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's really neat, but it just shows, it's just up to the homeowner's imagination what they can do with a lighting control system.
So now the central controller we just looked
Right.
at is sufficient to handle the signals throughout this house?
In most homes it is. Say 2,000-3,000 square feet, that one controller will handle it just fine. In a larger home like this one, we do have some repeaters that carry the signal out even further down the hallways and so
Okay.
forth.
All right. Well, that makes sense then. Now, as far as security, just having more lights on anywhere is a
Right.
deterrent to criminals and someone wanting to break in the home. But what are other aspects of this system that will make people just feel more comfortable at home?
It really can help that quite a bit by any security system can send a signal to the lighting system to flash lights in the case of distress. There's an alert button, for instance, where if I'm out of town and my wife hears something go bump in the middle of the night, she can hit the alert button and the house is lit up like Fort Knox.
Oh, great.
We also have a key fob remote as an accessory, so you never have to go into a darkened home again. You hit the key fob when you're driving up the driveway and it lights a pathway into the house. A real sense of comfort.
Well, you've got all the answers to lighting needs and everything, but here's a question by now our viewers have. This sounds like a very expensive system, but I assume with the retrofit wireless system, it's really made this a fairly reasonable option for people.
Yeah, technology is really bringing down the costs, and homeowners can shop around for various systems out there, but in an average-sized home, a homeowner can spend anywhere from $500 to $5,000, depending on how many bells and whistles they want.
Okay, it's like anything else that you buy.
Exactly right.
Well, I can think of a number of ways that I could really use this around my home.
Let's join Danny at the Home Center to check out this week's best new product.
Every day it seems like there are more gadgets for the home. Even the laundry room is stepping it up a notch. Just look at this new washer and dryer pair from LG. Not only is it available in a few cool new colors, it also has remote monitoring capabilities that allow you to check the laundry cycle from any location in the house with a remote. So whether you're helping the kids with homework or cooking dinner, you can monitor your laundry so that you don't forget about it. The remote monitoring displays the progress and remaining time on the washing, refreshing, and drying cycles. All you do is plug the monitor into any electrical outlet within the home. The washer unit in this pair also has a real new cool feature. It actually is a steam washer, so clothes can be cleaned without water or detergent, which means it uses a lot less energy and conserves more water. All of these features do have a price. The washer goes for around $1,400 to $1,500, and the remote monitoring package is an accessory that's about $100 more. We've looked at a lot of stuff today, both wired and wireless, to control the systems and devices in our homes automatically. Now, one thing that many of these items have in common is that they can be programmed or controlled with our home computers, which are now wireless thanks to internet hotspots like this one at this restaurant. Now, what if you wanted that same convenience at your home, but you weren't a computer expert? Well, recently we talked with one to see how to get things started.
Basically, with a wireless network, it takes away that restriction of having a wired and you being placed in one central location. Setting up a wireless network is not as hard as someone might think it is. It's basically getting the right terminology in your head, getting the right hardware and placing it inside the network. You can really get away with a wireless network at about $100, $150. This is the easiest way to set up your access point. Everything is a wizard. Now this is set up with SES, which stands for Secure Easy Setup. Click here to start. After you put it in, it'll auto run. Now the good thing about this wizard is tell you step by step and give you a picture. Make sure everything's connected, your network switch or your router, and of course there is monitoring software that you can use. Really focusing back on the security, we always want to look at maybe an intrusion detection system, which you can purchase. All types of different software vendors out there. There are some free ones, but be careful with the free ones on the internet. What an intrusion detection system will do will allow you to go in and see who's trying to access your wireless network. Now, you don't want these people on your network. You do not want them, only you. There's different types of encryption methods that we can use with wireless networking. As far as your home, it all depends on you. It depends on you on how secure do you want your information.
If you're a technical novice like me, David recommends boning up a little bit on some of the technical terms before you go shopping. An internet search for Wi-Fi, for example, will lead you to definitions that can really help simplify the process. Now, he also told us that you can improve the coverage of your home wireless network by simply adding a larger antenna. And as we saw in the wireless lighting controls earlier, a central location in the home is the best way to get the most coverage in your home.
Let's head outside for Around the Yard with lawn and garden expert Tricia Craven-Worley.
Some of us have gardens that we have to mow the lawn all year round, and some of you are lucky enough that you only have to do it seasonally. In either case, it's really important for a really beautiful lawn to keep your mower in tip-top shape. Now, I myself keep a spare blade handy so that when the blade that I'm using currently gets dull, I can just switch it out. And the important thing about a sharp blade is if the blade is dull, it'll have a tendency to tear the grass and split the ends of the blades, just like your hair gets split ends if you haven't cut it properly. The other thing I like to do is keep it really clean underneath the deck. Be sure, first of all, that you unplug the spark plug, and if it's electrical, make sure it's unplugged as well. And just lift up underneath. As you can see, I've already taken the brush and cleaned out under here and gotten all this grass out of there. This tends to clog the blade and it interferes. Another thing with getting rid of all this ucky grass is that this has a tendency to spread seeds and disease to other parts of your lawn, and you don't want that. You want a nice, green, healthy lawn.
When we started our research on this subject, we were overwhelmed by the amount of technology that's now available for your home. I mean, we only just scratched the surface with looking at the extensive home automation system that Blake showed us and the wireless lighting controls. That was pretty neat. And Dave shared with us some great ways that your computer can really help you around your home. I mean, just think the technology is there right now that will allow you to sit in your backyard in your hammock and monitor, control virtually everything in your home. That's a pretty neat idea. But you know, there's so much on this subject that we were not able to cover. We'll have to revisit this one again. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you soon. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.